Are verbal abuse and emotional abuse the same thing? Well, Christian and biblical counseling has been woefully inadequate in identifying and treating emotional abuse, especially when it's within a marriage. And I continue to be troubled by the number of Christian leaders who refuse to acknowledge its reality and its severity. By our silence, we simply empower the emotional and spiritual bully to continue his or her sinful behaviors. Now, many of us grew up singing the nursery rhyme, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me, right? No, it's not true, and it's not even biblical. The Bible says words do hurt us. Reckless words pierce like a sword. Proverbs says, who can bear a crushed spirit? And Jesus likens reckless words to tongue murder. And research now shows that emotional and psychological abuse can be more harmful than physical abuse can be, and its effects longer lasting and more damaging. So what exactly is emotional abuse? Well, here are some emotionally abusive behaviors and attitudes. Raging, constant criticism, ridiculing, demeaning, belittling, which would also constitute as verbal abuse because you're using words to harm someone. But there are other tactics that are less verbal but still emotionally harmful, like withholding necessary information, withholding resources such as money, withholding affection or attention in order to punish or pressure compliance. Restricting, not allowing someone to speak, not allowing someone the freedom to make decisions, like getting a job or going back to college or visiting parents out of town. Not giving a wife the freedom to make adult decisions for herself under the guise of biblical headship. Or isolating, manipulating someone into feeling guilty if she wants to have friends or do things other than with her husband or kids. Subtle threats like, you'll be sorry if you do this. Or abandoning, whether it's physical abandoning or emotional abandonment. I worked with a woman whose husband refused to get up in the middle of the night and take her to the emergency room when she was having stomach pains. When she woke him up, he said, I'm too tired and I have a busy day tomorrow at work. Just call your mom or an Uber. Can you believe it? When this kind of abandonment is a pattern in a marriage, it's emotionally abusive. Another way of being emotionally abusive is by coercing, using spiritually sounding words or even the Bible to manipulate and control another person into compliance, or accusing her of things that she has not done, or ordering her to do things against her will, ignoring her needs, her feelings, her goals, and even her complete personhood, treating her like an object to use rather than a person to love, or minimizing her feelings, her value, and her worth. Now, some of these behaviors, if observed or talked about with a counselor at first glance, wouldn't be considered abusive, but they are. You see, we can use words as weapons to hurt and control people, which is verbal abuse. But what about a lack of words by chronically ignoring, manipulating, or lying that seeks to undermine someone's character or devalue her worth or demean or dismiss her voice or her choice? At the heart of emotional abuse is an attitude of pride and the idea that I have the right to judge and condemn you, and that you have no value unless I say so. You're less important than I am. You're here to meet my needs, and when you fail, you're to be punished or discarded. The Bible's crystal clear that our words are not to be abusive, and the effects of emotional abuse are real and damaging. In the Psalms, David complains, it's not an enemy who taunts me. I could bear that. It's not my foes who so arrogantly insult me. I could have hidden from them. Instead, it's you, my equal, my companion, my close friend. David is experiencing emotional pain due to the words and actions of one of his closest friends. When someone we think loves and values us betrays us with deceit or mocks us in disdain or treats us with callous indifference, it's harmful and damaging, not only to our spirit, but to the relationship. And that's emotionally abusive. Take care, and God bless.